I'm Isabella Briley. Today I will be investigating thoroughly into the insupportable traits of London Fashion Week, the ways in which they may change these to lower carbon emissions and successfully convert their organisation to be more resilient. Yeoman et al. 2011 suggests that this comes from understanding how sustainability as a trend impacts our audience. It's an iconic clothing trade show which takes place every year. It is a creative platform which wants a positive shift towards change. With a partnership with British Fashion Council, they are pushing to support three main pillars: sustainability, equality and diversity. The event, an Extinction Rebellion, is not one shy of controversy. Extinction Rebellion protests by staging a funeral outside the 2019 London Fashion Week to symbolise the death of the planet and address the lack of coverage over the unsustainability of the fashion industry. Wicket 2021, a member of the Extinction Rebellion, passionately conveyed that when peaceful protests are impossible, violent protests are inevitable, and that disruption of all kinds are positive when it comes to combating the global issues. This disruption shouldn't have to take place to cause change, especially when it comes to the climate crisis. Put forward that an act of resilience is an organisation's ability to dynamically reinvent themselves and react to disruption in timely manners. This will then lead to the organisational effectiveness. Graf et al. Suggests that companies would need foresight in order to perceive and understand probable futures. This will allow them to detect these rapid changes. This is also called insight, which allows for the process not to be an issue. Corporate greenwashing is now becoming subsequently more apparent by framing activities as green just to look environmentally friendly. This is associated with the relationship between rhetoric and reality. The truth is altered for public communications. If the public find that companies are doing this could cause protests and financial losses due to the lack of trust within the company. Examples of greenwashing today would be with the BP garage, who decided to go green. They firstly did this by changing their sign to green and launching a public campaign. However, they were later given Greenpeace's Worst Greenwash Award due to their 93% of their total investments going into extracting fossil fuel. Examples, however, of companies intervening with global crisis with resilience would be Ford Motor Company, who would usually be a massive contributor to increasing emissions, however, came up with a 10-part environmental plan, which makes 80% of their vehicles recyclable, along with another 9 parts which decrease emissions drastically. As suggested by Alicia Bezos in The Climate Crisis, companies like London Fashion Week need to be innovators when it comes to tackling the greenwashing scenarios. Due to greenwashing being a factor in making the climate crisis catapult into chaos, it's important that these plans are published honestly. The issue that can be helped by the sustainable plan would be lowering CO2 emissions. The long-awaited COP26 was an act of urgency, hopefully to close the global warming gap to 1.5 degrees by 2030. However, described by Priya Narain, it was incredibly disappointing, and Factory itself is a huge contributor, as shown by the UK live music, as it contributed 28,000 tonnes of carbon in 2018. This simply cannot be solved by companies saying they're going to plant trees. To put that in perspective, 1 acre of a new forest will capture 2.5 tonnes of carbon manually, and this will take 100 years or more. GET's put forward a new paradigm for sustainable events that not only endure indefinitely, but they fulfil social, cultural, economic and environmental roles. This is shown by Coldplay's new sustainable tour, whereby they're cutting emissions by 50%. This tour sold out in 40 cities overnight. Coldplay have pushed forward for change in the time of chaos. As shown by the website, the movement of their stadium floor will be converted into energy. 1 tree will be planted per ticket. This will be done by planting schemes around the world. Portable solar panels will power stage production also. Events can make the change to cut down on the production of CO2 would be the use of the carbon budget, as suggested by Adam Saskwalski from Leeds 2023. With his knowledge of events industry, he proposed using agencies such as ISLA to help achieve this. as they focus on facilities, education and reporting. Food waste and use of farming products adds to 34% of CO2 levels. The food waste, according to events organisers, happens from the organisation, the preparation and serving to the consumption of the food. The cost of these wastes are undervalued and unreported. Profit waste could be saved entirely. The average event wastes 15 to 20% of the food loop. As for using farming products as at your event, veganism is a better option. The meat-centric world we live in adds greatly to this vulgar statistic. It is being shown, however, that veganism is becoming a lot more trendy and that meat eaters are conforming. Due to the vegan community growing as shown by Twitter's popular vegan hour and the rise of vegan menus across all high street restaurants, the vegan community has grown from 150,000 to 542,000 in 2018. Change to vegan menus when at events is also praised by other peers, as shown by Priya Nareen, an event sales manager at Curb Events, who attended an event recently which had two main menus being vegan with wonderful new recipes and the third being a smaller menu for meat. This set-out made the plant-based food more important for attendees. The issues of adaptability leads to resilience. Industry. It's important to educate event companies on food waste so that we're able to know what food types are being wasted the most. Jenna Carter from Lime Venue Portfolio found that 40% of food was salad wasted, followed by breads, which suggested lower import needed for them. Research is going to lower food waste down. Therefore, this is important to do with every events company. Fashion Week is lacking on their website to show a sustainability plan. This should be a key focus due to the controversy around the event and sustainability. If this was done clearly, groups like Extinction Rebellion wouldn't disrupt. With no disruption at the event proves an existential use of insight and adaptability. The crisis has been a black elephant of our society, therefore everyone has chosen to ignore it and not tackle it. These recommendations above are ways in which, as part of the events world, we can move that black elephant into the light and make sustainability second nature. Thank you very much.